Yeah.
And it's hard for people now to look at me and go, oh, surely, he didn't have chronic fatigue
Yeah.
that bad. He couldn't
Yeah.
have had it. He's so
Right.
fit and healthy now.
Yeah.
Not true,
Yeah.
Things do change. But, I guess the reason why our forum, the Inner Circle, is so good is because we're all on the journey to improving ourselves.
Exactly.
No matter how bad your situation is,
Yeah.
it's going to improve. It's going to get better. And we all have bad weeks and bad months,
Absolutely.
But it's about being realistic. And I think the reason why you've made great improvements over the last couple of months is because you've been working at it on a daily basis.
Yeah. It's the day. It's like I explained to a friend on the forum the other day. I pulled back from most of my responsibilities so I could really put the energy into the movement, the exercise, those things.
And you.
Every day. Yes.
Focused on you.
Every day. I had to. It was like, do that now or never be there for my kids. Take the time now to invest in my body and my health, and then I can return and be fully available to them, because that's the hardest part as a parent, not being there with your kids with the illness, because they grow up like that and you want to be in it. You want to be in their lives.
And one of the things I want to talk about quickly is going out.
Yeah.
It was only 6 months ago when you tried to go out somewhere and you couldn't even last at the dinner table.
Yeah, that's right. I came home in tears. Yeah. And I would, because I was pushing and crashing and forcing myself, because I didn't want to stop living. But it wasn't until I understood that I had to stop that push-crash cycle, as you explained, so that then my body could heal. So now this past weekend, like last summer, I missed every weekend that my family went to the family river cabin. I would have to stay home. And I was missing that time with my kids. And this past weekend, I made it there the first time in a year. I went, and it was a great time, and I'm back, and I came back last night, and I'm able to do this today. It's amazing, and talk and visit with my brother, so yeah.
Dude, and that's really kicking some goals there, and I don't think 6 to 8 months ago you really thought that would have been possible.
No, no.
And what I want to talk about is your mindset, because I know we talk about the physical stuff and nutrition, physical reconditioning, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But you've done a lot of work on your mindset.
Yeah.
Well,
I think saturating.
What has helped you?
Well, you obviously have helped me. Saturating myself with positive input from your website and from your videos and from other motivational speakers on YouTube, and I just think that attitude is everything, and I was holding on to that positive attitude through this before I met your program, but it was so hard. It's hard to think I've been through anything so difficult in my life. So it's hard to hold on to that when you're doing it all alone. But when suddenly you've got positive feedback around you and you see someone like yourself who's recovered and you're fully fit, and you realize it is possible, and what the mind of man can conceive and believe, he can achieve. And that's, that's just so true. And I think that once we can conceive it and really believe it, I know it's going to, and now I see it taking place. But before it was just faith. You're going on faith,
Yeah, hope and belief.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what happens with anyone with chronic illness, regardless, is I think we just lose all hope and belief.
We do. It's very devastating. But now things are looking a lot brighter. And I just hope for anyone who's out there that doesn't know what's going on with them, because there's not a lot of diagnosis here in the States, at least. There needs to be a lot more education. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess, guys, if you look, how old are you, Vic? Can I just ask?
I know. I'm not going to say that on YouTube.
She's 21. All right? She's 21. But why I'm asking that,
Sorry.
and that's okay.
I've got teenage kids, okay?
I think she's got teenage kids, and that's the point I want to make. Is there is a lot of mums out there who have got chronic fatigue or who have got CFS but don't know they've got it.
Right.
And there's a lot of talk at the moment going, oh, but if you're older you never improve, and this is why I want to state this, state that you're a mum and
that I'm older and I can improve.
But you're not 16, and you look 21 though, so that's okay.
Thanks.
But it's I guess that's what I know how inspirational you are, and you know, for other mums, and I know you're a bit hesitant to do this interview, but you know, it's more for other people to realize that it's possible for them as well.
Absolutely.
You know?
Because you feel so much older. Like, I wondered, I thought, it's just age. What is up? I mean, I knew it was more than that because it started with, for me, the trigger was glandular fever, mono.
Yeah, same
but you literally feel like you're 90 years old.
Yeah.
You know? And I've seen it.
Try being 16 and having that. You know, I felt like a 90-year-old.
Yeah. So it is a amazing, difficult illness, but it's just great that you have recovered and you've given your gems of recovery. And if we do them, not just talk about them, but we do the things you tell us, I mean, I'm just seeing amazing results. And my husband is so thrilled. He's seeing, since I've joined your program, the progress. My kids are happy. We know that I've still got a long way. Recovery is so much longer than we expect. I still have to sit in the shower. Standing and talking for me is still very difficult. You know, these very strange things that I look fine. What's wrong with you? You look good. I mean, you don't look like you're ill. And I think that's the most deceptive part of the illness, and why for 4 years I tried to hide it because I didn't look sick. And so, you know, what's wrong with me? So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's all. I'm so glad you spoke about that, because I think a lot of us, you know, who are watching this feel that way. You know, feel obliged to keep pushing through and feel obliged to not recognise what's really wrong with us. And it affects our identity. It affects everything that's going on with us. Yeah. You know, and I mean, you're a mum, you know, you were always, you know, hyperactive and energetic your whole life. And now all of a sudden it's like, well, hold on a second, I can't keep doing that. It's not working for me. Right. And you know, and this is and I know I tell you this on a weekly basis when we do coaching, but you know, I tell you, it's a short-term pain for long-term gain. You know, it's not like this forever. Right. And you know, if you focus on just doing the slow things and improving on every aspect of recovery, you will notice change. And sure enough, you know, you have, and I'm so pleased for you. And I love seeing improvements, and I know you feel like your progression's quite slow. But it's progression.
It is.
And what I say to people is, you know, if you improve 10%, it's better than nothing. Even if you improve 1%. And that's how I treated my recovery when I was going through it. Was like, I don't care what it takes, but if I do everything and I just improve 1%, I'll be happy. Right. And that 1% led to 2%, led to 4%, and it just doubles and multiplies every time. And you get 6 months later and you look back and go, wow, 6 months ago I was completely in bed. Yeah. To now doing stuff and going to the pool and doing your exercise every day and feeling okay, not crashing, going away with your family, you know. Yeah. Awesome. You know? Is. So high five to you. High five. You know, it's awesome, and it's a great story because, you know, I mean, you haven't been to my centre, you haven't come to Australia.
No,
this is all by, you know, the internet and the program, and you know, the fact that we get to connect and you know, not just do a program but see improvement and actually get change and, you know, change your life, which you have.
Right. And I'm expecting full recovery. And the thing about it, like I said, it used to be faith and hope, but now it's just a knowing. I know it because I'm already seeing my body moving in that direction. So I know it's coming. It's, you know.
Yeah. And one of my favourite sayings is, once you convince yourself, you'll convince others. Yeah. You know, rather than the opposite way around. Right. You know, because I think for so long we always try and convince everyone else, oh, no, we'll be fine. And you know, we always, you know, no good. So once we convince ourselves, we'll convince others. And that's something that stuck with me in my recovery, was always just working on myself and working on, you know, believing in me and my potential to improve my life. And I'm seeing the same resilience in you.
Well, I think it's fabulous how many lives you're touching across the globe through your program. You know, because the fact that your passion has remained and your compassion for people that are sick, and I remember that's why when I was hesitant to do this interview, you said, think of how many people are having those emotional breakdowns like you did and don't know what's wrong with them. And that, you know, and I've always wanted to come out of this and help other people, because it just breaks my heart to think there are people suffering and they don't have any support. They don't have any help like this, like your resources. So I think it's so important, you know, for the word to get out.
Yeah, thanks for that. And, I guess, it's been a long passion. It was a passion that when I got diagnosed with chronic fatigue that even when I was sick, I wanted to help people with chronic fatigue, and obviously I couldn't. But in my mind, I was like, something needs to be done here. There's a missing gap. Doctors aren't that helpful. Some are to a degree, but most really don't understand it or can't give practical advice. And I guess how I designed everything and how I wrote my book and everything that I've created is all around what I needed and what people like you and everyone else around the world needed when they're sick. And if I had what I give to people now, I think. I mean, I don't know. I would have been just so excited to have something to look forward to.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. When you're in this illness for so long on your own, to get the connection and to get the information is just amazing.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And if anyone out there is watching this, I'm sure you're feeling really inspired right now just by this conversation because with hope comes belief, and with belief comes reality. So thanks for doing this interview today. I really appreciate it. And if anyone does want extra help or wants to reach out to me, you can go to my website, which is www.cfshealth.com. Vic, you are an inspiration, and the funny thing is, it's only early days. We've only been working together for not that long, and people will look at it and go, "Wow, look at what she's doing now." And guys, it didn't happen overnight; it happened consistently and progressively over time. So it's all about being realistic with where you're at and improving. And you keep smiling because there's more around the corner.
There is, and I'm thinking of your phrase, consistency over intensity.
Yeah,
that's been the biggest for me. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Great way to finish this interview is consistency over intensity wins the race every single day. So, if you're constantly trying to intensely live your life, at a rate that your body and mind can't handle, you're not going to see results. So, consistency over intensity wins the race every single day of the week. Awesome. All right, thank you heaps. Enjoy your night. I know it's nighttime then, so you need to get back to your routine and go back to bed. It's my morning here, so I'm about to head off to the centre now and coach some people. But yeah, thanks heaps for chatting. And anyway, I'll see you for a session soon anyway.
Okay. Thanks, Tony.
All right, thanks,
Bye.
Lovely. Bye.